Minasan, konnichiwa. Alex desu. Hey everyone, it's Alex. Today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of my travel preparations that I'm making for Japan. I realized that as I've started to pack for Japan, that it would have been really helpful if there was actually something online about what somebody else brought to Japan. So I think I'm going to do a couple videos on what exactly I'm bringing to Japan to maybe help out some other people who are planning to bring similar things. There's a lot of things that you have to consider when taking things over to a foreign country. There's also a lot of different methods to packing, so you can get a lot of stuff in a small suitcase. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that I didn't know until I had to look it up over countless hours of research. So if I could help everyone else out by showing a couple of the techniques that I've used, that'd be great. On top of that, I really just want to show what exactly I'm bringing over there to last me 4.5 months. It's actually a lot less than you think you're going to need. I learned this lesson actually in Italy when I brought, I think, 3 different types of shoes and only ever wore one type of shoe the entire time. So the 2 other pairs of shoes were just basically useless for that entire time. I really wish I hadn't brought them because I could have packed more stuff that I actually needed. Yeah, it's these kind of tips that mostly you can only get from experience, and I'm hoping to show you a couple of those. So to keep things real basic, most airlines, including mine, I'm flying Cathay Pacific over to Hong Kong, then from Hong Kong to Osaka. That flight is going to allow me to have 4 pieces of luggage total. It's going to allow me to have two pieces of luggage that I check. Each one I think can be a total of 50 pounds. And then on top of that, I can bring on 1 carry-on item onto the plane and another personal item. So all that together is about 4 pieces of baggage. Now once you land, if you're going to travel long distances, you might actually want to carry less pieces of luggage than this, but just know that generally 4 pieces of luggage is going to be about what you can bring. So you're only going to be able to carry roughly 4 bags with you over to a country that you're going to be spending 4.5 months at. So what exactly kind of bags do you want? Well, from what I've learned from Italy and what I've researched, these are the 4 bags I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring 1 giant suitcase that's going to carry basically all of my clothes in it. There's actually a really cool packing method that you can get almost your entire wardrobe into a suitcase of that size. I'll show you that in a different video. I'm also going to be bringing my hiking backpack. This is a really great bag for spending a couple of days in a city outside of where you're staying. So I use this all the time in Italy when we went on trips. I would just bring this giant bag on my back, and then I'd usually have a technology bag kangarooed onto my front. The third bag I'm going to bring is just going to be a normal book bag. This is where I'm probably going to keep most of my electronics because this is going to be my personal item that's going to stay underneath my seat on the flight. I really don't like to trust anyone else with my electronics. I've seen a couple of times how the baggage people put the stuff on the plane. It's not that gentle at all, so I like to keep that stuff with me. Plus, there are a lot of new regulations that say anything with lithium ion has to be carry on the plane in case, it bursts into flames, which unfortunately has been happening recently. And my final backpack, the one that I'm actually calling the battle bag, this is going to be all of my camera supplies, my drawing stuff, and basically everything else I'm going to need to go on daily excursions in Osaka or any other city I decide to visit and just basically photograph, record, and draw. I'm going to go into each one of these bags individually and show you exactly what I packed. But for this first video, I think I'm going to focus more on the camera bag because this one is more or less completely packed and done. So my camera bag is this bag right here. Basically this bag is going to have every camera supply that I'm going to need while I'm over there. Let's start with the outside of the bag. On one side of it, you'll see with a huge carabiner clipped onto it is my GoPro case. Inside of this is my GoPro and various accessories. This little case is great because it's nice and strong, so if the case gets dropped or gets hit against anything, the GoPro is going to be fine. On top of that, the GoPro is going to be sitting inside of it in its case. So I really am not worried about it getting damaged. However, one of the things I did worry about initially with it is that the carabiner that came with it was very tiny, and I was worried that it would either break while I'm walking and fall off, or it would be pickpocketed really easily, because if someone bumped into me, I would not feel that clip release. So what I did is I actually bought a heavy-duty carabiner to go onto it. This carabiner is actually rated for climbing, so it is not going to break as I'm walking around, and on top of that, it takes a lot of pressure to open, so I would definitely feel it if someone was trying to take it off my back while I'm walking. On the other side of the bag, you're going to find that I have my monopod and my tripod attached to the side of the bag. These 2 things are great tools to have while you're out and about recording because they offer a lot of versatility with the ability to lock down a shot and not have any motion blur while you're trying to record or take a picture of something. Now on the bottom of my bag, attached to it is actually a much smaller carabiner. It was the carabiner that was originally with my GoPro bag. That carabiner is attached to a different case. This case is a camera case that's a really tiny one that I can just strap over my chest so that my camera's right to the side. This camera bag is great for if I want to go on a quick excursion around the block and don't need any of the other heavy stuff. I can just throw this on and take my camera in and out of the bag really easily. It offers a lot more mobility than my giant bag would have. Now, let's get into what I actually have inside the bag. Inside the bag, this is actually an Amazon Basics camera bag. There are a whole bunch of walls on the inside that you can take out and rearrange. My main two compartments are for my camera, which you won't be able to currently see it because that's what I'm recording this area of the video with. And the other compartment is for my light, which is currently on the camera as well. So those two are empty right now. On the sides, I have various accessories like my chargers. I have a little Manfrotto tripod, maybe this big, that is on one of the sides, as well as a couple more GoPro accessories that I couldn't fit into the little case for the GoPro. On top of that, on the top area, I just have a couple of cords in there, as well as a microfiber cloth to clean off the lens. The last thing I have is in one of the compartments is my additional lens. The two lenses that I'm bringing over there are going to be my kit lens that came with it. I think it's something like a 35 to 80 millimeter lens. And my prime lens, which I love my prime lens with its very shallow depth of field. Okay, now the final thing I want to show you is what I packed into the second little compartment. In here I have my drawing book and all of my drawing supplies. The mobility of these drawing materials is great because anywhere that I can set up and take pictures or video, I can also just pull out my drawing book and sketch the area real quick. So yeah, I basically got all of my camera supplies and my drawing stuff all in one bag. So as far as all my camera stuff goes, I've got everything I need in one bag, which means that I should have plenty of room for my 3 other bags to fill up with my electronics, some clothes, and leave some room left over for some souvenirs on the way back. As my flight gets closer and I actually pack my main bag, I'll definitely make a video on my packing strategy for getting my entire wardrobe into that big suitcase. It's a really cool technique that I think anyone traveling abroad should know about. Other than that, until next time, Ciao mata. Have a great day, everyone.